What is going on YouTube? Espresso Shucko here, and today let's talk about Great Tusk. It is one of the first two Paradox mons that was revealed leading up to Scarlet and Violet. It is the ancient counterpart to Donphan and Iron Treads. It is a ground fighting type, which means as far as type breakdown goes, it's immune to electric, it's got a 4 times resistance to rock, and then it's got a regular resistance to bug, dark, and poison, and then it's got a couple of weaknesses to fairy, flying, grass, ice, psychic, and water. So Terastallization can definitely help get rid of the fact that it's got 6 different weaknesses, but then you can also consider the fact that you do have an immunity, a 4 times resistance, and then 3 regular resistances. So it's technically got 5 resistances slash immunities to the 6 weaknesses. So you can go from there if you want to Terastallize it or not. So as far as Great Tusk goes, it's got great physical stats, hence the name Great Tusk. It's got great offense and defense in the form of 131 attack and 131 defense. It's got 115 HP, which means it can be pretty bulky. On the special side though, it does have 53 special defense, so you gotta be a little bit weary of that if you're going to run it. But that's okay, you can get around that with light screen support. If you have a snow setter, you can use Aurora Veil to increase both defenses. You could do something like that. It's got the magic number of 87, which means when you have max IVs on this thing, it hits 107 speed, so it will outspeed Dragapult under Tailwind with no investment. So that's a pretty good stat breakdown. And in terms of abilities, it's only got the one in the form of Proto-Synthesis. So basically here, if Sunny Day is on the field, Great Tusk gains a 33% boost to its most proficient stat. Unless that stat is speed, then it gets a 50% boost. It's basically a free +1. You could run Tusk'll, you can run Booster Energy as an item in case you don't want to run a Sun team. But Great Tusk would benefit from having Tusk'll because while Sun is active, water type attacks, which is one of the 6 weaknesses right there, they have their power reduced by 50%. So you could do something like that. That would be kind of nice. The only thing though is grass types do like the sun, so maybe you would want to Terra into something that's super effective against grass types, like maybe say Terra Flying or Terra Poison, for example. I'm not necessarily recommending those, but you could just keep those in mind. You could do something like that. Oh, I just had a thought too. Snow Setter and Terra Ice. You probably shouldn't do that, but that's an idea. You could go Abomasnow and Terra Ice Great Tusk, maybe. That's kind of weird, but I kind of like it. I don't know, we'll look into that down the road later, maybe. But anyways, so starting off with Series 2, these bad boys are going to be eligible. So what I was thinking here was we could take a look. Maybe we could run a bulky body press set, because that 131 defense is great. If Intimidate is coming around, you don't have to worry about that because you're using your defense stat when you use body press. You naturally get stab from the fighting type that Great Tusk has. You can go Terra Fighting if you wanted to get even more damage off of body press. You can also run Bulk Up. Unfortunately, this thing doesn't get Iron Defense, but that's alright. You could run Bulk Up instead to raise both your physical attack and your physical defense. So what I was thinking here was we put a lot of investment into our HP, put it up to 219, and then from there we focus on our defense stat. 190 seems like a pretty good number to increase your defense to, and then that way you're still getting a +1 each time you use Bulk Up, so 190 times 50%, that's a pretty good number right there. And then from there, I was looking into speed, attack, and special defense. I put 36 speed in there so that we can outspeed Electrode under Tailwind. Electrode is the fastest thing in the game, meaning it's faster than Fluttermane, it's faster than Iron Bundle, it's faster than Dragapult. So assuming they don't have a choice scarf on them, you can outspeed them under Tailwind, assuming Quark Drive or Booster Energy, or not Booster Energy, Photosynthesis activates and gives them a speed boost. You're a bit faster there. So I was thinking Torkoal could be a good partner here for Great Tusk because we naturally set Drought with our ability. We get our Photosynthesis off. And Grimmsnarl can be a good partner here because we get Prankster priority screens in the form of Reflect and Light Screen. So that would further add to the bulk to this set. That's what I was kind of thinking, but the EVs are really experimental. I haven't run them in through any damage calcs, so take from there what you will. You might even want to break it down so that maybe you go just pure defensive investment and take the speed out. You could do that too. Like I said, this thing does hit 107 naturally, so it will naturally outspeed Dragapult and slower under Tailwind, barring they don't have any choice scarves. So another idea, you could run Assault Vest to try to patch up your special defense. You could do something like max attack, max speed, put the remaining 4 in there to round it up to an even number, get that 50% from your Assault Vest. You could do something like that. Great Tusk has really good options for attacks. It gets Headlong Rush, which was introduced in Legends Arceus. It's a ground-type close combat. Speaking of close combat, it gets that for a really good fighting type option. So basically, both of these moves are base 120 power. They're 100% accurate, with the drawback being they lower your defenses by 1 stat. So you could do that. You could just go in for that explosive attack and then get Great Tusk out, or you could just go from there. You get Ice Spinner, which is a great move. It basically destroys terrain, and what sets it apart from Steel Roller is a Steel type move that was introduced in Generation 8. It's something like base 130 attack, but it only works if there's terrain on the field. Ice Spinner doesn't need terrain to be on the field. You can just go for some straight damage. If terrain's on the field, you'll destroy the terrain. That's pretty awesome. Great ice type move. The ice type really benefited from getting that. And then basically anything else that can learn Ice Spinner also benefited from that. Great Tusk gets Knockoff as well. So basically here, Knockoff is probably one of the best utility moves in the game. It removes the item that your opponent is holding, so long as they don't have an ability that prevents the items from being lost, like Sticky Hold, and you get a 50% boost when you use it and knock off an item. You could go Terra Dark maybe on this thing if you wanted to take advantage of Stab on knockoff too. You can go Terra Ground or Terra Fighting to make close combat and Headlong Rush just do stupid amounts of damage. And while I kind of was onto the idea of Terra Ice, Great Tusk, I don't recommend it, but you could do it for Ice Spinner. You could do it, but I don't know how I feel about that. You could just do that. You can also run a Choice Scarf on Great Tusk as well. And what I was thinking with this one here is, if you put 180 EVs into Speed and a Jolly Nature, you'll outspeed Dragapult at +1. The Choice Scarf gives you a 50% boost. There you go. And the nice thing with a Choice Scarf on Great Tusk is, in theory, it should work out that if you have Sun on the field, you should still get that attack boost with max attack investment, and you're fast with the Choice Scarf. You can go with Headlong Rush, you can go Close Combat, you can go Rock Slide, you can go Knockoff. All these moves are great for speed. Headlong Rush would get rid of any non-Terra Flying Golden Goes from the neutral matchup, most likely. And since a lot of them like to run Terra Steel, that's pretty much just the delete button. Now, Great Tusk also has some other options for moves, which I think you could probably interchange them onto either the Choice Scarf or the Assault Vest sets, which is just this one right here. You get Mega Horn, very good physical bug type damage. Maybe you have a particular dark type you want to get rid of. Maybe you have a particular psychic type you're worried about. Again, Play Rough is a fairy type move for the dark types. You could do it for dragons. Facade is nice if you get burned. You could you could probably even go Terra Normal on this thing. And I wouldn't recommend running a Flame Orb, but you could go Terra Normal just in case. Maybe you do go. Maybe you do go Terra Normal, Facade, Flame Orb. You could do that. That might be a lot of damage. You get Head Smash, base 150 power Rock type move. You got to be careful because the recoil does do 50% of the damage and it's 80 accuracy, so you could miss. It's a really good move. You could say it's smashing. Some other things that Great Tusk gets is it does get Brick Break, which is great for breaking screens if you wanted to deal with that, run an extra fighting type move. You get Ice Fang, you get Thunder Fang, you get Fire Fang, which is just some nice little coverage options. Probably Fire or Ice would be nice for dealing with grass types. You do get Iron Head, which is good steel type coverage and probably one of the better ones. You get Heavy Slam too, but Heavy Slam depends on the weight of the user. This thing is only like 700 pounds, and there's better Heavy Slam users out there, most likely. So yeah, you could run Heavy Slam or you could just run Iron Head. In terms of utility moves too, Great Tusk does get Taunt, which is nice for shutting down status move users. So you can shut them down that way too. And that's basically it for what I was thinking about Great Tusk. Let me know down in the comments below, guys, what you think. I'm excited to kick off Series 2 discussion videos with this Paradox Mon. Like I said, it's one of the first two that we got leading up to Scarlet and Violet. So, hey, maybe we'll do Iron Treads next. I don't know. Anyways, I will see you next time.